So I actually like artists, international artists, and I heard from like this artist called Viktor Tsoi. It's a Russian artist, and basically, to give you an example, is really like the Beatles from Russia. It's kind of like he has like a band called Kino, and basically he has done like or like Guns N' Roses, I guess. Like someone like he's really like a rock star, mm, like like Jimi Hendrix. It's not because he's talented, but like it's really like this kind of like one guy artist that is really known in Russia that I really like. And I'm like, I just want to check out like a documentary about him because like, and might as well like share it to you because why not, you know?
The song you're listening.
Yeah. He hasn't like basically like anti-war and really like just like peaceful type of like songwriting. Like he was like basically preaching for peace in a country where that was like really, it was really dangerous to even like talk about the government, you know. It was during the Soviet Union, like it was Russian, and basically yeah.
To now is from a band called Kino, whose frontman and main creative force, Viktor Tsoi, is a legend in his home country, but relatively unknown in the rest of the world today. You'd be forgiven if you assumed he's a K-pop star or a member of a Japanese new wave band. But once the lyrics drop in Viktor's typical laconic delivery, it's easy to hear that he's from Russia. A keen observer of the mundane, Viktor found poetry in the everyday, expressing what the disaffected youth of the country perhaps felt but dared not speak. As a result, he became an icon for a generation who rallied around his message of quiet rebellion and change. His life began with an artistic wild streak, painting and selling portraits of Western rock stars to sell on the black market of Leningrad. Despite finding success as a musician, Viktor never stopped painting and was fascinated with the world of cinema, taking the name for his band from the brightly lit marquee of his local movie theater. He was the son of a Russian physical education teacher and a Soviet Korean engineer, and due to his unusual mixed-race heritage, he found himself an outsider in a country of alienated youth. Kicked out of art school at 15, he worked a number of odd jobs and started writing music a couple of years later. He and 3 other bandmates formed the band Kino in 1982, and over an 8-year run wrote and recorded over 90 songs on 7 albums. His song Elektrichka, about a man stuck on a train going the wrong direction, expressed his feelings towards life in the Soviet Union, earning a ban by the authorities. He also chafed against the privileges and expectations of fame, preferring fishing and practicing karate to the hard-partying lifestyle of many contemporaries. Speaking of his one and only trip to the United States, he reflected, "Nobody knows who I am there. I can walk around on the streets undisturbed." In the 1987 crime film Asa, Viktor and the rest of Kino performed their song Hochu Peramen, or I Want Change, in a surreal ending credits sequence. This appearance swept the nation and catapulted Viktor and his band reluctantly to stardom.
Yeah, and basically, like, here's the thing, like, people in Soviet Union and in Russia, like, doing public criticism, this song was, like, basically, like, really talking about, like, peaceful change, but, like, really well presented, and and basically like playing dangerous games, because like back in the day, like you have to understand, like Russia is not America or Europe when it comes to like in the past, when it comes to criticism. People used to really like pay for actually like acting stupid and trying to speak against the government. These were like stuff that like you could like get arrested just for doing criticism, just for being a critic of the government locally, like not by doing art. And like here's a man that like basically like gets stardom like actually doing this, but at the same time he was doing this really poetically and really respectfully. Like he wasn't saying everything is complete like waste, like people are stupid, and no, it was more like the way it sounds, it's more like, I don't know, like he doesn't know, but like things could be better. And this is kind of like the idea of, and one of the things that like probably like made Viktor Tsoi like someone really interesting, because like you know about like play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Well, basically like he wasn't playing stupid games. He wasn't like just saying like, yeah, Russian government is stupid, people should do like so better, and everyone suck anyway, you know. No, it was like really poetically like, I don't know, he doesn't know, and maybe maybe it's not the right thing to do, you know, like maybe something better could be chosen, you know. And this is really what's really interesting about like Tsoi and Kino, is that like the tone that they have is like really adult and doesn't have like this punk, you know, kind of like attitude where it's like, fuck you parents, fuck you the adults, you know, like I have a fucking like I am the youth and fuck you, you know. Like he represented the youth, but it was like really a reserved and like a really interesting, like, you know, like just, yeah, just like peaceful and respectful of what he criticizes, while he was criticizing it, you know. Like, and his arguments like can be like understood, and it's not like stupid and really like, and basically insulting people really that are like within within the country that they live in, that are dangerous.
The song became the anthem of various protest movements. During a 2012 interview, Mikhail Gorbachev erroneously described the role of this song on a high-level government meeting in 1985, quoting the lyrics as justification for perestroika.
If you don't know what the perestroika is, within Russia, like after like basically the Soviet Union fell or like whatever, they decided to perestroika, like to rebuild stuff, you know. And basically like it was like a political, economical like choice, and basically like I didn't knew that like Gorbachev actually quoted Kino, you know, like, but this is like how powerful it is. And to make you understand, you know, like let's say Eminem, right? He talks about like the government, right? Eminem, or like, well, Viktor Tsoi is more like, is really someone that like well, is not like Eminem, you know. Is more like someone like Tupac, or like the Black American community, well, really respect him, and some people that are within the government like know Tupac and understand like his values and what he was trying to preach about, you know. Like it's really like this idea of like these people, they understood like this game, and it doesn't mean that like one artist is like dumber than the other. It's just that like the cause of the one artist, it was really like way more on another level of like respect and understanding of what's going on, you know. Doesn't mean that like one is stupid, one is not. It just means that like one really talks and really like preach about something that like is way more serious. And well, if you think about Tupac, right, you don't think about like gang wars or like supporting like being happy about being a celebrity. You think about like changes and wanting to make the world a better place, you know. Like well, it's kind of the same with with Tsoi, you know. It's not about being a rock star. It's about being a celebrity. You think about like changes and wanting to make the world a better place, you know. Like well, it's kind of the same with with Tsoi, you know. It's not about being a rock star. It's about being a celebrity. You think about like changes and wanting to make the world a better place, you know. Like well, it's kind of the same with with Tsoi, you know.
Uncomfortable with fame, Viktor and the rest of Kino left Russia and toured parts of Europe in 1989, re-recording a number of their songs in France for a European debut, finding it a necessary but frustrating trip. In an interview, Viktor reflected on his trip. Russia's a popular theme in France right now, but we're like Matryoshka dolls to them. Hey look, Russians can play guitars almost like we do. I can't say it was a huge success because people were expecting something Russian and exotic, and we delivered rock music. If you want to go abroad, it's best to go as a tourist.
Damn.
Dressing almost exclusively in black, his influences ranged widely, from the Smiths to Bruce Lee. And while the band's lineup fluctuated over the years, Viktor's consistent creative output sustained the band, and he came into his own as a bona fide icon, until his unexpected death in 1990 in a car wreck at the age of 28. Driving home from a fishing trip, he drifted into oncoming traffic and collided head-on with a bus, a collision so violent that the rubber tires of his Moscovich 2141 Aleko were never found. At the height of his fame, Kino had just played a concert for 62,000 people in Moscow earlier that year, an experience that left him with this to say. For the most part, it doesn't really matter to me where I'm playing. My apartment, an underground club, a concert hall with 10,000 people. Either way, I'm doing what I love.
Wow. This is the conclusion of an artist that like got. This is the conclusion of an artist that went from poor to being rejected by an art school to did odd jobs in the art industry and other, who actually achieve fame, money, and well, basically notoriety. And this is his conclusion that like it's just about the music, man. Basically, like this is the conclusion of a man that like basically is a legend in Russian music, you know. Just about the music. Wow, this is powerful. This is really powerful. I didn't know.
Despite dying far before his time, he lives on through his music and in the hearts and minds of those who witnessed his work. On December 31st, 1999, a Russian radio station asked listeners to vote for the top 100 songs of the 20th century. 10 out of 100 were by Tsoi, with the number one spot going to his song Grupa Krovi, the song you heard at the beginning, off the album of the same name. His legacy is so strong and message of change so dangerous that in 2014, a prominent Russian politician claimed that his lyrics were written by the CIA in order to destabilize the motherland. Today, tourists can visit the Tsoi Wall in Moscow, and the basement boiler room he worked in before reaching stardom, which he ironically called Kamchatka, now a museum and rock club. Unfortunately, he died never having seen the change he so desperately called for, in which he basically had no reason to ever expect. But much to everyone's...
Yeah, that's also like something, because like, and this is something that you can understand, like when it comes to the lyricism of Tsoi and his way to actually like criticizing the government, basically like it wasn't like with any hopes that things get better. It was with the understanding of reality, because like a lot of these songs are about like, they're really about like, well, it could be better, you know, but like that's how life is, you know. And but doesn't mean that like a single rock star can change things, you know. And basically this is what I respect about like this artist, because like there isn't this expectation of like some poet that is just like doing politics about, hey man, like I don't know about you, and everyone is scary, and but like maybe let's be nice, you know. Like there is like this expression of it's that he needed to say it and that he said it, but like it's all like there isn't this like really hatred, you know, like this there isn't like this kind of like teen type of like way to be, you know, like there is this really like this it's really interesting. It's just really interesting.
Surprise, only the next year, the USSR fell and the world changed once again. Considering the world today, this is an important lesson for anyone touched by cynicism, but still hoping for something more. Viktor Tsoi's life, work, and legacy are an evergreen message that the youth of Russia, and indeed, the entire world, perhaps need to hear again today.
Что-то изменилось. Наконец-то, я не знаю, что это за перемены, но это что-то изменилось, хоть немножко.
This was awesome. Thank you so much, Freechard, for like this little documentary. I actually love this artist. Like, if you never heard about like some like the most known like Russian rock legend, like check it out. Like if you don't, like I get, don't worry.